Hey everybody, it's your Survivor pal Gordon Holmes here with your exit press for Survivor 47, Episode 5, talking to Annika in just a moment. Before we get into that, a couple of quick orders of business. First of all, my episode recaps, or recaps, as some people call them, available at gordonholmes.substack.com. Immediately following every episode, you get a full breakdown of what I think about what happened, as well as individual letter grades for each one of the players. Also, if you ever wanted to support what we do here, and I'd appreciate it, become a paid subscriber over there. It helps me out a lot. Also, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and gently nudge that notification bell. Some people will be like, smash it. Don't. Computers are expensive. Phones are expensive. I don't know how you're watching this. Anywho, with that out of the way, let's see what Annika has to say about last night's Blindside.
How's it going?
All right, yourself?
You know, had to watch myself be vulnerable on national television. So,
Well, I got to tell you, you are a better person than I. And you want to know how I know that?
ow.
Because the second realized that Sierra was responsible, I would have gone to Jeff Probst and say, point me towards those chickens.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I tell you about those chickens? What was going on in through my head?
Oh, please do.
Basically, I'm not anti-killing the chicken, but I was so confident that Andy and Sam are going to kill the chicken and they're going to hand me a bloody chicken and I'm going to be the one tasked to defeather it, depuluck it with a dull machete, no cutting board, no soap and water. I'm going to have to throw the guts far enough of camp that the bugs don't affect us. And then our fire's not strong enough. So I'm thinking we cannot be the only tribe that kills a chicken and cannot successfully eat it, because how sad would that be? That's what's going through my head, being like, I just know that this process, the sun is setting, we're not going to get it done in time. So that is why I was anti-killing the chicken, and that is why I suggested doing a negotiation to give it back.
The first tribe to miss a challenge because of salmonella.
Yeah, exactly.
Did Sierra name the chickens?
Sam named the chickens,
Oh.
actually. Yeah, Sam named them. Oh my God, I should know their names. They changed a little bit, but they were very passionate about them.
Yeah, once I got voted out, their names would have been Buffalo, Extra Crispy, and Original Recipe. So take me back to the tribal. What was happening that made you so confident? Because Jeff asked who was confident in their alliances. You said you were one of them. How had Sierra convinced you that she was on board?
Yeah, so a lot of it was actually her coming to me and Rachel and being like, we're solid, right? Like, please tell me we're solid. And it was her almost like prompting us to say, yeah, we're solid, because she seemed so nervous about her alliance with Sam or her spot on the island. And so, of course, like, we were reiterating to her, like, we're locked in, girl. We are so, so good. And so I think also by hearing that, I had never even expected that she was playing this middle game for so long. And watching it back, it does hurt. Like, it sucks to see, because I did feel so strongly, not only with breadwinners, but with the four. Like, I was never planning on going against Sam anytime soon. I value keeping the tribe strong in challenges and moving forward with the people who I thought were, intelligent, strategic people who I wanted to work with. Not saying Andy's not intelligent, but it's just that we vibed really well together.
Did Sam know that he was going to be that decoy vote when you talked to Andy?
Yes.
Okay.
We ran it by him, and we did tell him.
So when it went down, when you started to see your name coming up, what did you think had happened? Like, because I know you originally reached out to Rachel to see if she had been the one behind it, but what did you think had happened in that moment?
Yeah, so I actually knew that my name was getting thrown out the very first tribal council. And so that's why when I see the first vote, I'm like, okay, classic. Andy's putting my name down. Who else would he put? I get it. But when I see that second name, I think I actually block out. Like, I am so shocked because I realize what's happening at that point. I don't have my vote, so it is me going home, and it's a lot of emotions all at once in that exact moment that I think that I just needed to know immediately, like, who did this. And you see me just staring. I don't remember staring for so long. I definitely blacked out during that part. But yeah, I think I really needed to know, because my relationship with Rachel was so solid. I needed to know if I was backstabbed by her or not. And then I think you see me crying immediately because I did feel solid with me and Sam's relationship. And seeing him raise his hand so quickly and smile at me, it really did sting. Yeah.
When you saw his vote last night, I imagine that's the first time you saw that it was, I'd been burying you for however many days, and this is your tomb. That was dark. Was
Yes.
there like real animosity between you two, or was that, for show?
It's funny because I out there, even though I say I didn't want to work with him, like as a person, I had so many conversations with him. And if you'll see it, when he has his blow up on the mat, I'm the one, I'm the only person in our whole entire tribe turning around saying, Andy, like, we got you. It's not, we like you. Like, this is all in your head. I'm the only one assuring him. When we get back to camp, again, I'm the only one like trying to comfort him. I don't know what it is and why he didn't want to work with me, but in that moment, like Sam's rolling his eyes, right, at Andy at the mat, and I'm the one comforting him. And then there's a lot of moments you'll see in that first couple of moments, I'm leaning over and giving him a hug. When he's first talking about Boston, we both have a lot of common interests. The only reason, again, not wanting to work with him is that I wanted someone who was competent in the challenges and someone who I felt that I could strategically work with. It had nothing to do with who he was. And I think a lot of my efforts out there was genuinely trying to make him feel included. We're playing games, at the end of in the shelter at the end of the night, and everyone, kind of falls asleep when Andy's still talking. I'm the one reminding everyone, like, guys, it's Andy's turn. Like, I cared so much. And it hurt that he never wanted to work with me, but I knew out there, like I could sense it on him. So it wasn't a shock to me. As much as I tried, I knew that I wasn't getting it back. That was like the key difference between working with Sam and Sierra versus working with Andy. Like I knew where Andy's alliances were.
We've seen the other tribes mention a potential showmance between Sam and Sierra, and we haven't seen any showmantic moments between them. And I know Survivor, if they existed, they would absolutely show them. But I'm thinking about it, I was like, boy, that's something. If I were, heading into a merge, if I were in alliance with them, we'd definitely lean into that. Like, what were your plans heading into the merge? Were you going to stay strong with the tribe? Was
Yeah.
Sam and Sierra and Rachel, was that your plan? That being a final four?
Yeah, we talked about being a Reba 4 group,
Mm.
right? Like we wanted to stay 4 strong. And when I come back from the journey and I tell them, like, guys, this is what they were saying, ha ha. It's not a like, look at you two, you have to worry about it now. It's, hey, this is something we all 4 have to worry about. This is what's being talked about. That was my intention. It probably could have been conveyed better to them. But again, the reason I told them is because I knew that this was now a burden that the 4 of us is going to have to bear going in. Um, so yeah, again, it's all in hindsight. I think the game of Survivor Telephone shot me in the foot. We see it really, me so innocently saying that they're tight. And I didn't think much of it, ends up being communicated from Kyle back to Sue, back to Sam. And I think the way it was communicated is if I was gunning for Sam a little bit harder than my original intention.
Speaking of your excursion, you were there with Kyle, you were there with Rome.
Yes.
Was there any talk of a cross-tribe alliance? Did anything interesting happen that we didn't see?
No, it's actually interesting because I would have loved to have a conversation about like, hey, let's chat about if we make the merge. It was really early. It was early on in the game too, though. So I don't know if it was the right time to have those conversations. Granted, I didn't make merge, so it wouldn't have been helpful for them. But a lot of my part that I played was listening to them and asking them a lot of questions about their lives and like who they are as people to kind of, get to know them a little bit more to build up that relationship. So if we do make merge, I have them as a solid someone who I have a previous relationship with. But again, very unlucky of a journey. So unlucky. Jeff, give me a challenge, give me a puzzle, give me something that I can work with or a
Hey,
task.
it's your own fault for not reaching into the bag correctly.
Oh, I
Uh,
know.
Maybe next
I
time.
know, Gordon.
You
Yeah,
weren't practicing reaching into bags before you went on
I
the
should
show.
have.
That's your fault. That's
That
on
is
you.
my fault. I'll
Uh,
practice. I'll practice more next
yeah,
time.
practice next time. We do a word association to get to know your tribe mates a little bit better. I'll give you someone's name, give you the first word or a couple words that pop into your head, and let's start off with Andy.
Oh, goofball,
There's no wrong.
doofus.
There's no wrong
Yeah,
answers.
yeah, doofus. Uh, complicated individual. A little incompetent. If I'm being honest, those are a
Yeah.
couple of words.
All we ask is your honesty. Let's try John.
John, smart, well spoken, um, so funny,
Okay.
so funny out there.
Rachel.
Puzzle beast, very charismatic, so sweet, kind, loyal.
Okay. Sam.
Sam, also very charismatic, can be demanding, very strong, opinionated, and strategic.
Sierra.
Sierra. Um, I I'm coming to a blank. Let's see. Sierra, she is the first word that's coming to my head is backstabber. Like, I unfortunately, it's just too fresh for me in my mind at this moment, um, to really think. But my relationship with her is interesting because out there she really was trying to solidify all of these outside of the game, uh, like, I want you to be my mom. I want you to do this. You're going to be my best friend for life. Like, blah blah blah. And so then watching these episodes back, it's been quite a right to the heart.
Now, when you were out there, did you know that Sia wasn't giving away money to the players anymore?
No,
Oh, so it's possible this whole chicken thing was a ploy to get that sweet Sia money.
it's not out there. It's not out of question. That was announced at the 46 finale, which happened
Oh,
when we were on the island. So we had no idea.
okay. She's going to be very disappointed. Since you spent a little bit of time with them, let's try Kyle.
Oh, okay. Kyle, uh, a little airheady,
Mm,
but very kind.
okay. And let's finish off with Rome.
Oh my God. Rome, loud, so loud. Um, uh, he he's loud. He likes to be in control. He's a little self-obsessed. um, yeah. So yeah, Rome is also, but all of them very nice people, very kind. And it was very interesting to get to meet them.
Okay. You're the first person we've talked to you from your tribe since John was eliminated. I'd love to know more about that vote. What was your thought process in sending John home over Andy?
Yeah. So basically, John, number one, day one, comes to me and is like, "Oh my gosh, like I want to work with you. We're solid. It's great." Uh, my tribe had a very kumbaya vibe, and so we didn't want to uh, have a lot of one-on-one conversation. So me and John weren't able to have another lock-in, like, "Hey, we're solid with each other" conversation until, like, honestly, after, like, we never had one again. Night two, it's Andy and Sierra and Rachel and John. They're sitting by the campfire. Me and Sam are having a conversation in the shelter, and John suggests to lock in a four with the four people who are by the campfire. Rachel, who was already my number one at this point, tells me in the morning, and I'm like, oh, okay, John's being a little bit suspicious. So at this point, I'm not like ready to go ride or die for John. However, I do think he is a good shield. So I do try to save him to uh, Sierra, Rachel, and Sam. However, it's 3 versus 1. I unfortunately cannot convince Sam mainly, who I think is the big person who I had to convince. Sierra and Rachel, I think, were a little bit wish-washy either way, or like could have voted either way. Sam did not see John as a alliance partner, and so he wanted to keep Andy. Andy and him had already had a conversation. Feel very similarly. I wanted to keep John. I didn't have any one-on-one time with Andy. I didn't see Andy as someone who I wanted to work with. So in the game of me versus Sam, Sam won that first vote. As we see, he also won the second vote, and I go home. So
All right. Well, Annika, it was awesome watching you out there. Wish we'd seen more of you. But from now on, for the rest of your life, whenever you're eating chicken, I want you to. This is for you, Sierra.
I will really appreciate that. I will.
Sweet. Have that for lunch.
I will. Thank you so much,
All right.
Gordon.
Thank you.